Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, and let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Let rain, oh, 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 let rain, oh. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. Let rain, oh, 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 let rain,
NASA, we're coming for you. For 60 years, you've been faking space. There are no spheres in the heavens. The experts have devised them in the imagination so it was easier to understand their movements. So what's that mean? Well, it means stars are not distant. Guilty of a cover-up the likes of which has never been seen in human history. Everything, and I mean everything that we were taught about space, about the planets, about the orbits is a hoax. It's a lie. That means our entire idea of the cosmos isn't just wrong, it's very wrong, astronomically wrong. So, any scientists, any physicists out there going to do anything? Or is the scientific community just going to sit there and do nothing? You guys are really just making it harder for the truth to come out by protecting these frauds and the liars that deceived all of us.
My question is, through your career and your writing and your acting, you've inspired so many people to enter the sciences. How do you balance science with science fiction?
They're both the same. The mystery of science fiction is what I'm talking about. Science and science fiction are essentially the same.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Her ongoing mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life forms and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually. We only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
Have you ever dreamed of going up to outer space? Or maybe meeting other beings from another place? Have you ever wondered what it's like on other planets? Then you watch a science show and come to believe you understand it? You feel empowered by the knowledge and you feel enlightened, listening to Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson. But then you wake up and you start to see the obvious. Life is just a lie and this whole world ain't what we thought it was. NASA's missions to the moon were never completed. They just filmed them in a room and people believe it. I used to wonder what it's like to be an astronaut. Now when I see them acting, I can't help but to laugh a lot. They give us cartoons and they claim that we live on a ball, but it's flat and it's not moving or spinning at all. Why you lying to us, man? That's something that we want to know. After that, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff and go.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
History has been rewritten by winners of wars. The Jesuit order, Khazars, Freemasons, and more. They pulled the veil over our eyes, and it's time to awaken. Through organized indoctrination, our minds have been taken. It's time we take our power back and we rescue our people. The Vatican and the bankers are like Resident Evil. They may have had the greatest plan that was ever concocted, but Illuminati never thought that they'd ever be spotted. They're manufacturing reality all in our heads. They tell us if the earth is flat, then we'll fall off the edge. But if it is a spinning ball, we won't fall off it then. And gravity is our imaginary magic friend. Why is water always flat when unmanipulated? Why are pictures of the earth computer generated? Why you lying to us, man? That's something that we want to know. After that, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff and go.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
Importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the 6th branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. Aliens are going to be gone fast. The American astronaut embodied the incredible spirit of America, the confidence of a cowboy, the skill of a fighter pilot, the ambition of a scientist, and the courage of a true, brilliant, tough warrior.
We are going in with first wave. You smash the entire area. You kill anything that has you take
But they will face an enemy more devastating than any ever imagined.
Does the president believe in the existence of UFOs?
Somehow that question hasn't come up in our back and forth over the last couple days, but I will check into that and be happy to circle back.
And as I said, they will be met with fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
We're under attack, sir. We need retrieval now.
We're going to have the Space Force.
Someone made a damn mistake.
Somebody criticized me the other day because they asked me what I do, and I said, I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. They've got to be stopped.
TriStar Pictures takes you to the front lines.
Get them out of here! Get out!
Kill them all.
Space Force.
Troopers.
There is absolutely nothing Americans can't do. When we get together, there's nobody even close.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
Drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
Why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Several, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator at NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight.
I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get
I'm heading out. I appreciate it.
and get the hell out of the clubhouse.
Well, hello, and thank you for tuning in to TruthSetFreeTV.com. I'm Vincent Rose, your host. This here is the Russian cosmonaut coming out and saying that the Earth is actually flat, which is mind-blowing, and he's at a Flat Earth conference. I don't know how he was able to come out with this information, but this is information that has already been pulled from YouTube. I don't know whether or not this is going to be pulled. It could be up for a while. If I put it up, I'm sure with the number of subscribers I have, then it's going to get noticed immediately, and possibly this taboo conspiracy channel that it shows up on will be censored as well. This Polish cosmonaut, supposed to be the 89th human in outer space. Well, he comes out and he just says the Earth is flat, and he's coming out with the truth. So apparently he has had a change of heart about the lies that's being told. So let's see him in this interview here, and I'll just let you see the words up under here. The interviewer here says, "You've been there. Is Earth really a sphere hanging in outer space?" And he goes to telling the truth. So let's get his let's get what he has to say here. He said, "Earth is flat, as some expect." Or, you know, people already know the Earth is flat, right? I didn't expect this question. This is what he says. Then let's see what else he has to say about this. "I assure you it's flat." That's basically what he says. So I guess when the fisheye lens that they've been using is for a reason, because the Earth is really flat. Now this video was pulled from the actual video was pulled. But this is another Soviet cosmonaut who actually says that we've never been to space, which is, you know, he was the hero of the Soviet Union, so he's wearing the hero of the Soviet Union Medal of Honor. But he's going to come out with the truth in an interview on a talk show that seems to be on the in Russia somewhere. So in this talk show, he's being interviewed and asked about space. He said, "After all, you are a hero of the Soviet Union, and we can trust you." And let's see what he has to say. He says, look, the code of honor prevents the cosmonauts from talking about what happens in space. That's what he says. But now watch what he says. They just don't know anything about that. And let's move on. We haven't been to space. Wow. Well, there's his medal on him, and he's saying we haven't been to space. Let's take a look and see what else he has to say. If anyone claims that we have been, it is not true. It is not the truth. Now, this interview, all of these interviews are done in Russian. So these whistleblowers, again, you'll have to have it change the interpretation or whatever, the translation done on YouTube. I think they do put a device for you to be able to translate language on YouTube. So you'll have to use the translator for that, just to verify that what he's saying is the same thing. And so the interview says, this is another hypothesis on which I and the viewers of the name of the show is called A Matter of Perspective will have to think about for a long time. And he says, you know, it's good to think. He said, I like that. That's what you need to do. You need to think. That's what he basically said. And the interviewer says that Igor Petrovich, thank you for appearing on A Matter of Perspective. So the show goes off, and he ends the interview. And in 2017, that was the last time we saw this gentleman alive. So he died in 2017, I believe at the age of 79 years old. But again, he was another Russian cosmonaut, Igor Volk, who died in 2017, and he said that basically he'd never been to space.
They've got the flag up now, and you can.
The United States has shunned the Paris Climate Agreement, but it has big plans beyond planet Earth.
Beautiful, just beautiful.
President Trump wants to send American astronauts back to the moon and to places no man has ever gone before. Trump's first space policy directive orders NASA to refocus on human exploration and discovery, 45 years after its last Apollo mission to the moon. Trump said the initiative would create many jobs, and he hoped to see a lunar mission serve as a stepping stone to Mars.
We will not only plant our flag and leave our footprint, we will establish a foundation for an eventual mission to Mars and perhaps someday to many worlds beyond.
Little detail was given of the plans, but many on social media were quick to deride it, with some quipping that if America is going to lead in space, then why not send Trump there first?
So you spin, when you spin pizza dough, it kind of flattens out. Yeah. Gets wider in the middle. And so Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning. And it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped. Pear-shaped.
In a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
these guys were around when Columbus set sail, they'd be charter members of the Flat Earth Society. It's the current members of the Flat Earth Society in Congress. And again, I just want everybody to be clear, because sometimes when you listen to the news and you listen to some of these other politicians, they seem a little bit confused about what I'm saying. You know, if some of these folks were around when Columbus set sail, they must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round. If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on things.
But why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
2 cell phones, after all. What? Right before your surgery, I asked if you had packed your cell phone, and you said, which one?
When? Skylar, I was medicated. I mean, I could have said the world was flat.
You know what I think? I think you accidentally told the truth.
The pitcher, steroid Santa Claus, kicks and deals. It's a long fly ball going back, and the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium. Oh, Simpson just broke this dream's reality wide open.
There will be an event where Muslims will give up Muhammad and Allah. There will be lukewarm Christians who give up Jesus Christ. There will be Buddhists that give up Buddha. All across the major religions, they will give up worship of their so-called gods in favor of this new deity. And for those of you that follow my channel and others like it, I mean, that is why this whole alien deception or demons manifesting in physical form as aliens is so intriguing. Because I honestly cannot think of a single event that would make worshippers of all the world's religions drop what they are worshiping today in favor of this new deity, unless it were supernatural, it was out of this world. And as Hollywood so eloquently shows us, you know, people do come together in awe and wonder, wanting wisdom and knowledge. I've tied that in together for you guys as well. In the Garden of Adam and Eve, they were tempted by knowledge and wisdom. If you look all throughout the occult and all the videos that I've done for you, all the hand symbol gestures and the all-seeing eye, it is all about occult wisdom and knowledge and enlightenment and rebirth. And so in the end times, it makes sense that the same trick will be played on us, that we will be seeking knowledge and wisdom. And it's almost unanimous that when we think about extraterrestrials, we think of them as having superior knowledge and wisdom. It's a very interesting theory.
Today we're taking a crucial step to secure America's future in space by reviving the National Space Council after it has been dormant almost 25 years, if you can believe it. Today's announcement sends a clear signal to the world that we are restoring America's proud legacy of leadership in space. Our Vice President cares very deeply about space policy, And for good reason. Space exploration is not only essential to our character as a nation, but also our economy and our great nation's security. The human soul yearns for discovery. By unlocking the mysteries of the universe, we unlock truths within ourselves. That's true. Our journey into space will not only make us stronger and more prosperous, but will unite us behind grand ambitions and bring us all closer together. Wouldn't that be nice? But will unite us behind grand ambitions and bring us all closer together. Wouldn't that be nice? Every launch into the skies is another step forward toward a future where our differences seem small against the vast expanse of our common humanity. Sometimes you have to view things from a distance in order to see the real truth. It is America's destiny to be at the forefront of humanity's eternal quest for knowledge. It is America's destiny to be at the forefront of humanity's eternal quest for knowledge.
And so in the end times, it makes sense that the same trick will be played on us, that we will be seeking knowledge and wisdom.
A lot of room out there, right? Infinity and beyond is infinity. Could be infinity. We really don't know what it could be. There's got to be something, but it could be infinity, right? At some point in the future, we're going to look back and say, how did we do it without space?
Although we weren't able to shatter that highest, hardest glass ceiling this time, thanks to you, it's got about 18 million cracks in it. And the light is shining through like never before, filling us all with the hope and the sure knowledge that the path will be a little easier next time.
But it's flat and it's not moving or spinning at all. Why you lying to us, man? That's something that we want to know. After that, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff and go. has been rewritten by winners of wars. The Jesuit order, Khazars, Freemasons, and more. They pulled the veil over our eyes, and it's time to awaken. Through organized indoctrination, our minds have been taken. It's time we take our power back and we rescue our people. The Vatican and the bankers are like Resident Evil. They may have had the greatest plan that was ever concocted, but Illuminati never thought that they'd ever be spotted. They're manufacturing reality all in our heads. They tell us if the earth is flat, then we'll fall off the edge. But if it is a spinning ball, we won't fall off it then. And gravity is our imaginary magic friend. Why is water always flat when unmanipulated? Why are pictures of the earth computer generated? Why you lying to us, man? That's something that we want to know. After that, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff and go.
Dear NASA, it's becoming 100% crystal clear that you and the other space programs that are in operation are connected and are deceiving the entire world. More and more people are waking up every single day, and we are now able to see right through you.
Well, you let me know what you think about this. Like, subscribe, or don't. But remember, until next time, that Jesus is the light of the world, and the truth will set you free.